All right, as always, I'm going to do what I always do. For those of you all who have not heard me speak, I'm going to irritate the liberals, and I'm going to make the devil angry, because the very first thing I'm going to do up here is give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, as always. And why do we do that? Why do we do that? I'm going to tell you why we do that. We're going to do that because of the reason why we're here tonight. And the reason why we're here tonight is two words: faith and freedom. And this is a wonderful organization, Faith and Freedom is. And I thank them greatly, and God has blessed this organization richly and caused it to be able to put together events like this. And we thank all the organizers, from Mr. Reed on down, everyone involved in this who was instrumental. We thank you for inviting us, and we thank you for having this. This nation desperately needs it. But I really want to focus on those two words, faith and freedom. You think about those words. The reason why we sit here in this room tonight, I want you to take a look around and look at your neighbors. Look how pretty they look, how healthy they look. Some of us certainly have not missed any meals. This nation is blessed beyond measure. And why is it blessed beyond measure? Why? I believe this nation is blessed beyond measure for one reason. Because when our founders, in their Declaration of Independence, they sat down and they wrote these words: "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." And here's the key: they are endowed by their Creator. Not by a king, not by a president, not by a senator, not by a congressman. They are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I truly believe that when God heard those words coming from those men, he sat forward on his throne. He looked up and he said, now this is a nation that gets it. They understand that I am the one that's in charge, and that I am the one that gives them their liberty. And in me, only freedom can be found. And because of that, he put his hands on this nation. And through every struggle that we have ever seen, when the times looked the worst, at Valley Forge, when it looked like the revolution was over, it was Martha Washington who stepped up and brought in Bibles and implored people to pray for the revolution and pray for her husband to continue to fight for the revolution. In the darkest days of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln didn't go consult with the generals. He fell down on his knees and implored the Almighty. Called for a month of fasting and prayer to pull this nation through its darkest days. When the Japanese came and burned Pearl Harbor, the churches were full just like they were every Sunday. And we implored the Almighty to come and help us once again. And in those dark days on 9/11, again, we saw this nation reach its hand out to the Almighty and tell the Almighty, we need you to pull us through this. At every turn, it has been him that has picked us up and helped us carry on. Because faith has been paramount in this nation. Now, you got a lot of people that like to say this is not a Christian nation. Got news for you, egg-headed liberal. If it wasn't for Jesus Christ, there wouldn't be no America. If it wasn't for the faithful in this world, there would be no America. And if it was not for America, I truly believe hope would be diminished in this world. America is the shining light of this world, folks. You make no mistake about it. There is no other place on earth that people are literally dying to get into. No other place. And as much as this news media would like to tell you, as much as the woke set would like to tell you, let me explain something to you about the woke set. The woke set was asleep during Bible study, history, and economics. As much as they like to tell you that this is a racist nation, let me tell you a little story about a little black boy that grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina, going downtown, looking at the rich folks driving fancy cars and wearing suits, and looking at himself in the mirror and wasn't even sure if he was a human being. And that's the truth. I was so far removed because of the poverty and despair that I lived in. I wasn't sure if I was a human being. When people said the word people, I didn't even consider myself to be part of that. But you see, I had something in my life that's irreplaceable. I had a mother who had that first word. She had supreme faith. With all the giants she faced in her life, she put faith first. And she always told us, if you put your hand in God's hands, he'll lead you to great places. Here I am, Mother, and I'm here because of your advice. I put my hand in God's hand, set my feet in America, and because I live in the freest and the greatest country in the world and am led by the Almighty, I am now the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina. It is only through him and only through the goodness of this nation that I can stand here tonight before giants and deliver this message to you. And so to all those so-called woke folks, I say to you this: shake yourself awake and realize where you are. Everything that you have and everything that you own and everything that you will be, you owe it to those who came before you and those who laid down their lives a sacrifice for you. And then there's that second word, freedom. Now, I want to slow down for just a minute because I want you to, if you got to, close your eyes. I want you to think about this. Those of you all that have children, think about this. That have grandchildren, think about this. That have brothers and sisters and friends, think about this. Think about somebody you love in your life. Think about them. Get a mental picture of them in your mind. And now I want you to imagine that they're on a faraway shore somewhere. They're on a faraway shore. And they're laying flat on their back. They've got their hands out because they dropped their weapon or because they're out of bullets. Standing over them is a German or a Japanese soldier or an Iraqi soldier with a bayonet. He plunged that bayonet into your loved one and take his life for the cause of freedom. That is the kind of sacrifice that has been given so that we could sit here tonight. That is what has been given. When we say freedom, and we say this all the time, freedom is not free. We need to think about the cost of that freedom. We need to think about those sacrificed lives. We need to think about those mothers and fathers who received those telegrams, who sat and had to receive those flags from their sons and their daughters who gave their lives so that we could be free. If there's ever been a blessing in this nation, it has been that we have brave young men and women who will sacrifice their lives for the cause of freedom. Folks, when I think about it, it blows my mind every time. And every time I think about it, sometimes I actually have to stop because it actually brings tears to my eyes. When I think about how many people have laid down their lives for me. When I think about those soldiers those Marines on Iwo Jima. When I think about those soldiers at the Battle of the Bulge, freezing, outnumbered, surrounded. When I think about, oh my God, when I think about those men at Khe Sanh during Vietnam, outnumbered 10-1, but still would not give up because of the cause of freedom. When I think about those firemen on 9/11, America does not stand tall in the world because America's that smart, or because America is better. America stands tall in the world because we have displayed a courage that has never been seen in the annals of man. Not now, not ever has it been seen. The courage of Americans that have been displayed for the cause of freedom is unmatched on this globe. And it's something that we need to celebrate every day. We don't need to hide it. We don't need to deny it. We need to share it with everybody that we can. Because here it is, folks. Again, The reason why we sit here tonight is because of those two words, faith and freedom. They are the things that have propelled this nation to greatness and set her apart on the world stage. And I make this declaration to you tonight, in front of the whole world, in front of this press. And I want you guys to make sure you get the quote right. You got it on film. Don't leave anything out of it. I will not go silently into that good night. I will not capitulate to the left. I will not lay down. For the memory of that young man that had that bayonet plunged into him, to the memory of that young woman who was blown up in Iraq, to the memory of those firefighters on 9/11, I will not be silent. I will not lay down. I will not go away. I will not shut up. I will not stop talking. I will not stop fighting. Everything that is in me, I will stand up. I will stand up with the courage of John the Baptist and Joshua. I will stand up encouraged by those who have come before me. I will move forward. I will keep striving. I will keep fighting for that cause. I will keep fighting for that cause. And I will raise up. And I want all of you to be raised up with me in the cause as well. The cause of those two words that set us apart on this stage, faith and freedom. It should be our moniker, folks. It should be our moniker. It's what made us great. It's what will keep us great. And those folks that don't like it, I got a message for you. Come see me. Come and see me. Because I can go ahead and tell you like this, I'm not afraid of you. MSNBC, NBC, ABC, none of the rest of the alphabet soup. I'm not afraid of you. Because I already checked your hands and I already checked your pockets. You do not hold the keys to heaven and hell. Only one holds those, and he is the one that I serve, so I'm not afraid of you. You can come running if you want. Because my examples gave their lives for me. My examples gave their lives for me. Those men and women on the battlefield, those men and women in blue who protect us on the streets, and the ultimate sacrifice, which is John the Baptist. You know, John the Baptist is my favorite character in the Bible. What did he do? He stood up, proclaimed that Jesus was coming, told the truth to a king, and lost his head. And Jesus Christ called him the greatest man ever born to a woman. And so he is my favorite character in the Bible, and I believe we can all be John the Baptist. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I'd rather have my head held by my enemies on earth and have my soul in heaven than have the opposite. So I'm not afraid. And then finally, there is that ultimate example of sacrifice, of faith, and freedom. And that is what we find in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ had all the power of the universe in his hand. He laid it down so he could be a sacrifice to all of us and to everyone in this nation. With his strength, with his power, with his wisdom, we will save this nation for future generations. Because I will not look back on my life and say I did not do my part, and I hope that you will not either. God bless you all. God bless the great state of Florida and North Carolina, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.